Hello, welcome back. So, I saw a video earlier done by Paz. This Challenger 2 tank that's been destroyed in the Ukraine. I've got a few red flags of it of my own. Because I've also gone and looked at a report done by a mainstream media outlet. And I can't remember which one, so it's pointless me telling you which one it was, because I can't remember which one it was. But it's put out by the mainstream media, so I'm not going to believe it straight away. Now, they come out and said they don't know whether it's been taken out by an airstrike, artillery, or it's been sabotaged. It's been scuttled to stop it from falling into the enemy hands. Well, none of that makes sense. For the simple reason is everything that the media is pumping out there about Ukraine is that Russia's on the back foot, Russia's retreating. So why would you scuttle it to stop it from falling into enemy hands? Personally, unless it is mechanically disabled, you'd take it with you because that can move faster than you can run. So you take it with you. So that doesn't add up. Also, this is a machine that's been designed for battle, that has never been lost in battle in any conflict around the world that it has served in, until it goes to Ukraine. So, and the Ukrainians have come out and said that this equipment is amazing. It can pick off targets one after the other, bam, 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 which is what it's designed to do. It is designed so that whilst the gunner is taking his shot, the commander is looking for the next one, or the next several. It's a state-of-the-art piece of equipment that's up against the kind of equipment it was up against during the Iraq war, because Iraq was built on the back of Russian military equipment. And to it lose to something it's fought against before, it's no, I don't buy it. Now, if it's been taken out by an airstrike, yeah, fair enough. It might have had something that's not designed to fight tank warfare dropped on it. That's more suited to taking out nuclear bunkers. I'm not talking about nuclear weapons. I'm just talking about massive incendiary bombs that will take out anything they're that big. It might have had something like that dropped on it. But if this has been lost during combat, why have they not mentioned the loss of life and the fact that there's no survivors and there's casualties? Because that's usually the first thing they report on when there's a major firefight or a bit of a skirmish. They mention the casualties, they mention the loss of life. That's not been mentioned. So it comes back to the old, it's been scuttled to stop it falling into military hands, which I can't get behind, because like I said, if Russia's retreating, why are you going to get rid of it? The conclusion I've come to is they've sabotaged it. For the simple fact is that they can go back to Rishi Sunak, Joe Biden, whoever's running Germany, and all these other allied powers that are supporting the Ukraine, saying, look, we've been given the best equipment, it's still not good enough to beat Russia. Well, what do you want? Did you want us to come and fight the war for you? It's a bit like when someone gives me a fag, and then you're like, I say to someone, oh, can I pinch your fag off you? And they're like, yeah, there you go. Like, I can pinch your light off you. And like, well, do you want me smoking for you as well? It's sort of like that. It's like, oh, can we have your military equipment? There you go. Oh, can we have people to operate it? Do you want us to fight the war for you as well? That's what he wants. After he's creamed off and liquidated all the money he's been given, and he's got rid of that, he wants someone else to come fight his war for him. Sounds like a proper politician, because they like to pick wars and then have the general population go fighting for them. I can't buy that it's been lost that easy. When there was a story that come out a few years ago during the Iraq War that they thought they'd lost the Challenger 2 tank then. And this tank had gone, something had happened and the track had come off. And during the middle of a firefight, it had got left behind, or it was off doing its own thing. But there was no support for it or anything. There was no infantry support or anything, and it was under fire. And it had everything thrown at it. The Iraqis had shot at it with AK-47s. Not that that's going to do much. It's not going to do much. You might pop a few sights off. That's going to be it. It had countless amounts of RPGs fired at it, and just bounced off the side. Nothing. It had other anti-tank weapons fired at it, and it was still sitting there with the crew inside it, giving the Iraqis the middle finger because they knew they couldn't kill it. That was the equivalent. That Challenger 2 tank in that situation was the equivalent of a T-800 Terminator. You're just going to keep coming at you, although it couldn't move. But it had everything fired at it that bad that it had disabled everything on it. And obviously it disabled everything, but they couldn't penetrate it. They couldn't penetrate the armour. And even though, because they realised that this tank was missing, the search and rescue team was sent out to find it, and they found it. And they cleared off all the Iraqi forces that were jumping all over it, trying to get it open and kill the people inside it. Well, they got rid of them, and they thought that this tank was dead, and everyone inside it was dead as well. But no, they got on top of it, the hatches opened, and you've got the 4 crewmen in there drinking cups of tea and playing cards, basically. So they weren't bothered. It was like, this is the situation, we'll just wait and see what happens, sort of thing. But everyone thinks, oh, it's just a tank. It's not. That is basically a mobile nuclear bunker. That is the cockroach at the battlefield. You do a nuclear blast, that'll be the only thing to survive. That's how sophisticated the Challenger 2 tank is. The unbelievable pieces of equipment, the amount of abuse that they can sustain, and still keep the people inside them safe. So I kind of find it hard to believe that this one's been taken out. There's no casualties, there's no survivors, there's nothing mentioned about it. I've got to go down the route that it is just a proper, it's been blown up, it's been sabotaged, blown up to pump out there is false propaganda that the Ukrainians can't cope, they need more help. I don't buy it, I really don't. It's like a lot of shady dealings and underhand tactics go on during times of war that never get brought to the surface, but it happens. This is just another one of them. It's like if you believe the old Winston Churchill conspiracy theory about him sinking the Lusitania, or was it the Mauritania? It was one of them anyway, I can't remember, the names are quite similar. That I always get them muddled up. If you believe the conspiracy that he sank that to bring the Americans into the war, nah, it's bollocks. There's too many things around that to debunk it. But that's the problem with conspiracy theories. A few nuggets of truth are dropped into them to make you think, oh, actually, yeah, I'll go look this up. And you look up some of the true things and you add it with the bullshit and you're like, actually, yeah, I believe that. But it's not true. And what Zelensky is obviously got the media pumping out about this Challenger 2 tank being destroyed. Don't buy it. Really don't. There's just a few too many red flags around it for me, and things that don't quite add up, don't make sense. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know, but I look at everything with a bit of scepticism. It's like, I don't believe it. I was like, well, why is this missing and why is that not how it should be? Why is it that this Challenger 2 tank had probably served in Iraq up against the same Russian equipment and wiped the floor with it? Or could it be down to the operators that the Challenger 2 couldn't perform at its best? I don't know, but like I say, a lot of it just doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. But what does make sense is the fact that Zelensky has got a shipment of 10 American A1 Abrams on his way to Ukraine, which is supposed to be there this month. And that is part of an order of 30 that have been given to Ukraine, where the other 20 are supposed to turn up by the end of the year. But nothing wins you a war better than going to the Americans and them going, fuck yeah, I'll have some of that. Here, have some democracy. Because America, fuck yeah. So, but that's what it'll be. It will be a case of, it'll be boots on the ground from allied countries fighting the war on his behalf. And everyone will go out and protest, and guess what? It'll make not a fucking bloody bit of difference, because a million people lined the streets to protest the war in Iraq, and guess what? We still went to Iraq. So, fucking carry on regardless, innit? So chuck money into the problem and hope it goes away, but that's not working anymore. So I don't know what to suggest, but I know this much: I'll catch you another day, another way. Bonjour.